The case before you is of great public importance and interest. It is not a case that can be decided on the basis of lamentations, speculation, or propaganda. It doesn't matter how much the parties are disappointed. We are going to place before you legal and constitutional principles to support our position that the petition before you ought to be dismissed. The allegations by the petitioners, my lord, must be examined with more than ordinary care. I can even say, my lords, extraordinary care. But also with the exercise of due proportionality. My lords, the petitioners have demonized the first respondent. They have rubbished the conduct of elections by the first respondent. In a case such as this before you, my lords, the presumption is that a body that is exercising a constitutional and statutory function in good faith cannot be displaced lightly.
I submit, my lords, that the IEBC therefore has a duty to each and every Kenyan who wishes to vote to ensure that he or she is registered, and once he or she is registered, my lords, he or she is able, if he chooses to exercise their right to vote in either an election or a referendum that is organized by the IEBC. My lords, Article 83, my lords, sub-article 3 of the Constitution, 83(3) of the Constitution, my lords, provides as follows. Under the heading registration as a voter, it states, administrative arrangements for the registration of voters and the conduct of elections shall be designed to facilitate and shall not deny an eligible citizen the right to vote or stand for an election. It shall not deny an eligible citizen the right to vote or the right to stand for an election. My lords, I will revisit that important constitutional provision later on in my submission. My lords, in furtherance of the obligation placed upon it by the Constitution, the IEBC embarked on the process of registration of voters in this country. My lords, the IEBC has a free hand as to how it registers voters in this country. The Constitution leaves it to the IEBC to choose whatever method it deems fit and most appropriate as the body that is the custodian of the right to vote guaranteed by Article 38, sub-article 3 of the Constitution. And in exercise of that duty, the IEBC chose a method of registration that has been referred to as BVR, biometric voter registration.
So when you went to vote to register, you were first given a declaration form. And this declaration form is important for the next category that I will deal with of transfers. In this, you put down your name, you put down your ID number, and you also designated the polling station where you are going to vote. The reason was that there were only 14,000 BVR kits. But the commission was carrying out registration for 33,000 polling stations. So BVR kits were being shared between polling stations. So for example, in the case of Turbo, there were 2 polling stations that shared a BVR kit, St. Andrews Primary School and Kipkeino Primary School. So what happened in Turbo is that there is 127 people who registered and indicated that they wanted to vote at St. Andrews Primary School. But when the information was being processed, they were all put in the register, the biometric register of Kipkeino Primary School. And my lords, this information is all here. We have the biometric register for Kipkeino, the biometric register for St. Andrews. So what the commission did, and this is in the affidavit of Immaculate Kasait, is to state if there are people who had designated a particular polling station, they needed to be transferred to the station that they had designated. These are the people that Senior Counsel Oraro talked about, transfer of votes, but he put it in conspiratorial terms, as if there was somebody who was stealing voters from one side to the other. So the process that was put into place was robust, it was simple, it was verifiable, it was transparent. The important thing that comes out from each of these affidavits is that on voting day, no political party agent, none objected to anyone voting using the Green Book.